Hi everyone, it's Miss Hamilton again. This is our last review lesson. And then on the following week, we would actually be starting onto the curriculum of lessons. So we're just going to review order of operations, and we tend to use BEDMAS as a little bit of a way to remember how to go about order of operations. So if you just need a little reminder of how that works, B stands for brackets. Okay. E stands for exponents. D and M stands for division and multiplication. And then A and S stands for adding and subtracting. Okay. So again, you want to make sure you work within those bounds. Really, really important. Order of operations. We do a lot of algebra this year, solving, and as we move into linear systems as well. If you don't have your order of operations down, you're going to make a lot of errors, and that struggle because you might know how to perform all these tasks and how to solve a question, but if your order of operations isn't there, then you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, so let's start with the first question. So what we see is 8 plus 2 times 7. So if we think BEDMAS, the first thing we want to do is solve within the brackets, okay? And within the brackets, it's just one multiplication, so that's fairly easy to go about. There's not a bunch of other work with inside the brackets. So 2 times 7 becomes 14, okay? The brackets would drop, and now we could actually solve for the remainder of the question. So 8 plus 14, we get a final answer of 22. Moving on to the next question. 33 minus 4 divided by 2. Okay, so there's no brackets, so you don't have to do anything for the B, but there is exponents. So we would start by solving 4 to the power of 2. Okay, so 33, and then what you're going to think is 4 to the power of 2, because there's no brackets around the exponent. So when we get into exponent laws, we'll dive deeper into this. So just for now, 4 to the power of 2, there's a negative sign in between here. Okay, so 4 to the power of 2 is 16, divide by 2. Now you have to think of what comes next, division, multiplication, or adding, subtraction. Well, division and multiplication comes next, so we would work with this part of the equation next. Okay, so negative 16 divided by 2 gives us negative 8. Okay, and our final answer is 33 subtract 8, giving us a value of 25. Okay, we have a couple more questions we're going to look at, just 3 more. If you want to try those questions without my help, you can just pause the video right now, and then you can do those questions and then unpause the video if you'd like. Your choice. Okay. So negative 3 times 6 minus 12. Sorry, we're going to do this. We're going to start with what's inside the brackets. Okay. So 6 minus 12 is going to give us a negative value. And this is where you have to remember some of those integer rules. Notice we have 2 negatives. So when 2 negatives multiply, they're going to become a positive. So we end up with positive 18 as our answer. Okay. So now what you're going to notice is that you have an exponent in the bracket. Okay. So essentially what it's saying is negative 1 times negative 1. Okay, if we were to do that exponent. So we end up getting 4 times 1 once the exponent's dropped. Or I wouldn't even say the exponent's dropped, this exponent has been solved. Okay, then 4 times 1, you're left with 4 plus 8, and a final answer of 12. And then we're going to look at one more question here. Okay, Just remember when you kind of see a fraction like this, it also stands for division, right? There's the operation of division occurs here. So just make sure to keep that in mind, okay, as we move through this, okay? What you're going to want to do, though, is you're going to want to solve the top and the bottom, okay, first. Okay. So let's start with the top here. So you have to solve inside the brackets before you solve the exponent. So -2 subtract 3 becomes -5 to the exponent of 2 over 6 plus -1, okay, which becomes just 5. So -5 to the exponent of 2 becomes a positive value because think of it like this. -5 times -5, okay, would be positive value because two negatives multiplied together becomes a positive. Over 5 still. Now we have a improper fraction essentially here, but what we can do is we can divide this, right? There's no point in reducing it, just divide. 25 divided by 5 gives us a final answer of 5. So that is the end of your review lessons. Again, you're just going to work on the homework sheet that was provided in the package. There are going to be questions in there that we didn't go over. It's just to see what your prior knowledge is coming into grade 8 if you can do those questions. I've also attached the answer sheet to that so you can even reflect on your answers into comparison for that. Have a great day.